do the traditional liturgies of the classroom, of higher education, or any place Christians are being formed in a college classroom, do those need to start changing? And how would you say they need to change?
Yeah, I think, I mean, on the one hand, of course, a Christian university and a seminary are not the church. So it's fair enough to say, you know, they are intellectual institutions. They are defined by that project of research and learning and exploration. That, however, doesn't settle the pedagogical...
Well, and pragmatically speaking, you know, well, pastors should separate those things. They may just go on and not make that distinction. They may make the church a kind of little university. So go on.
Right. Yeah. No. That's right. That's right. And it's funny because some readers of my work worry that I'm trying to make the university into a big church. So that's why no. I mean, what I do I want to see the university and the seminary as embedded institutions within the church's life. So these are the places we come to think. Thinking is good, right? But I think now what we need to ask ourselves is what would be the practices and ethos of those institutions that would equip us to think well and love well and to have our habits shaped. And I think we are just starting to have that conversation. How would the ethos of a Christian university or seminary change if it was also going to be a formative space and not just an informative space?
So what I am hearing, it sounds like there is space for a conversation to happen at universities and seminaries about what other practices could be admitted, because it seems to me that, you know, especially in undergraduate colleges, Christian colleges, I mean, students are living together, they are eating together, they're worshiping together, they're learning together, these are all parts of an education that need to be taken seriously, because these are a kind of constellation of practices that they're getting. Totally. And so my concern is that we need to train students even at this educational level in all of these, because they inevitably will kind of teach as they have been taught.
That's right.
Yes, and I agree, both college and seminary are such fantastic seasons of life to invite students to try on new practices, which then you hope take and will continue to shape them for a lifetime. And I think we need to be much more intentional. It's why the Student Affairs Division and the Academic Division have to be in sync and feeding and fueling one another.
Which has not traditionally been the model. Often spiritual formation, while theology has been discussed in the classroom, spiritual formation or spiritual life has been outsourced to the co-curricular. As if, well, that has to do more with practices and the heart and things like this. And that's my concern, is that this kind of distinction that we've somehow inherited, I think it goes back to the modernist university and kind of sending theology down the road.
Well, and this is why the pre-modern university is another just resource for us. So if you go back to, you know, think of how the University of Paris or Oxford or Cambridge began. They bubbled up out of monastic communities.
That's right.
Do you know what I mean? They were spaces of a holistic community of practice in which then was embedded intellectual investigation. Because I think you're right. We don't want to compartmentalize this or bifurcate it. You also, sometimes the piety and spirituality that is fostered in the extracurricular undercuts the intellectual project, right? I've seen that happen. So there's no extracurricular. There's just co-curricular. And all of that has to be framed towards the end of loving God and loving learning for God's sake.